Anybody who knows me knows. Whoops. Hi, everybody. Trust me, you don't want the camera on me for this segment anyway. But anybody who knows me knows that I go to a lot of shows in town. I go to comedy shows, all sorts of different shows. Could be a topless show, could be a comedy show, could be a concert. I get around, if you know what I'm saying. And the two lovely ladies we have with us in studio right now, a hit show that's been going for 24 years. Most people can't even have a show going in this town for 24 days, let alone 24 years. This show is just so much fun. It's called Fantasy. It's at the Luxor. It is a really good time if you've never seen it before. I did see it. It's been a little while. And we have Mariah and Ashton in studio from the show Fantasy joining us right now. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Thank you for having us. We're so excited.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure having both of you in studio rather than looking at middle-aged politicians that I have to interview every day.
Just slightly better,
Well,
right?
thank
Very,
you.
very boring. Anyway, I appreciate both of you being here. How long have both of you been doing this show for?
I have been a dancer in the show for 15 years
Wow.
and transitioned to, as well as dancing, to company manager for the last 10 years, co-producer for the last 2. So
Wow, 15 years. How
I
about,
know,
how about
I
you,
know.
Ashton?
Yeah, 11 years at the show, and
Wow.
I'm also now production manager,
Look at that.
Yes.
performance
So you two are like-
director.
Yeah.
You two
We
are
all
like
have
jack of all
multiple hats.
trades,
Yeah.
man. That's so cool. What do you? I guess the first basic question about the show, what I asked, obviously it's a topless showgirl show, right? But what would be the best way to describe it for people that haven't seen it before?
So it is a female review, which means it is 18 and up, but we are fun. We're interactive. We have a fabulous lead singer, Lorena Perel. She sings live.
awesome.
And she's
Yep.
a powerhouse. Absolutely. 8 fabulous dancers, an aerialist. And it's, we get people of all types. We get couples, we get bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, we get 80th birthday parties, 20-year anniversaries. So
80th
really,
birthday party.
Yes, absolutely.
that's
They're our
pretty
most
damn
fun.
cool,
We
man.
love them.
Yeah,
That's-
my grandma has seen the show probably 15 times, and she's part of the Red Hat Society. So she brings, all of her single older women, and they come and they just love the show. So.
I think that is so cool. Okay, so I would imagine both of you have seen the movie, and I'm sure you've heard this before, Showgirls, right?
yes.
Sure.
When I think of a show like this, and maybe I shouldn't, I think of the movie Showgirls with all the. And I know it's a Hollywood movie. Is any of that real? Is any of that real at all?
No.
There is a show. That's about
But
it.
like none of that behind the scenes stuff where there's. I mean,
Luckily, not at our show. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we can't speak for other shows,
Right.
but we are so blessed to just have the kindest, sweetest dancers. I mean, I don't think any of us wish, ill on anybody.
Right.
We've been, in each other's weddings.
Hollywood
we're,
movie.
We're
Yeah.
family.
And we
so,
need each
yes.
other. We
right.
need
You
each other.
don't have
on
anybody
stage.
trying to hurt people or.
Absolutely not. We're
Okay.
trying to make sure everyone stays happy.
Nobody's
and healthy.
sexually assaulting you.
No, not
All
at
right.
all.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I will say I did enjoy the movie, though. I did enjoy.
It
the
is
movie.
entertaining.
Cult
It's
classic for
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So obviously nobody wants to see me with my shirt off. Just ask anybody.
Oh, well, come on.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
show us and we'll do it.
Nobody wants to see that. But what is it like to be, for lack of a better term, showing the goods in front of a total strangers every night? I mean, are you just used to it?
Well, we're
Was it
all-
weird when you
yeah.
first started?
I came from a small farm town in Colorado. I moved out to Vegas. I was like, I'm never going to do topless. I did a bunch of other shows. And so my mom came out to Vegas. We went and saw it. It was called Showgirls at the Rio. And my mom was like, that's the show you're supposed to be in. That's, just a great show. And so I auditioned, actually got it. And then the very first show, so there's so much going on. You learn choreography, you have all these costume
Right.
changes, everything, you're blocking and you're all with all the dancers. Really, once the top came off the first time, it was so free and empowering, and the audience just went crazy and just loved it. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's really, I assume everybody has a different experience, but I thought it was so freeing and just strong and empowering as a woman to, just command that attention. And I loved it, and I never looked back. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, mine was slightly different. I always knew I was going to be a dancer. I thought maybe New York or LA. And then I ended up being almost 6 foot tall, which is a very specific demographic. And so I decided that Vegas was my place. And I originally moved here because I thought I was going to be in Jubilee, which is one of the longest running, it's
Bally's,
no-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bally's. It's no longer here, but it's the
Right.
classic showgirl show, which of course is topless. And
Sure.
there's an art to that. It's an art to how you stand. It's an art to how you dance. It's an art to how you perform. And I always knew that that's what I wanted to do, the glamour, the glitz. And I'm totally comfortable with that. My whole family's seen the show. Like, they support me and they love me. And not every dancer can do it because you have to hold yourself differently.
I have to ask you this: when you say your family saw the
Yeah.
show, your father?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that's okay?
Maybe
so
30 times.
Most
Yeah,
people
mine
would
too.
say. Most people would say, you bring your father to a show where your daughter is half naked. That's a little strange, but is it not?
We've always been performers. My dad.
That doesn't bother you at
Yeah.
all.
No, I
Didn't
mean,
bother him either.
No, and he's brought his friends, he's
interesting.
brought his
Yeah.
girlfriends.
Really?
He's so proud of me because I'm
That's
making
cool.
my living,
Yep.
doing what I want, doing my dream, living my dream, supporting myself.
Right.
And not many people in the arts get to say that.
Right.
I'm very
right.
similar to my,
That's
he was
cool.
the one that paid for all the dance recitals and rehearsals and everything.
I think that's
yeah.
great, and it's so important that your families are supporting you because I
Absolutely.
speak to it could be whether you're working at a strip club or not doing anything illegal, but doing what you want to do, and then you have a family member that doesn't support what you do. That makes things really hard. It sounds to me you have
Sure.
great families that support
Absolutely.
what you're doing.
And not
Yeah.
everyone is as lucky.
That's
we-
true.
Right.
I know. I know Ashlyn's family. I know her mom and
We're,
dad.
I mean, we see
yeah,
each other more
yeah.
than we see our family.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
like my sister.
Yeah.
That is so I just think that's so super cool. And you said it's 18 and over,
It
right?
is. Yep.
Wow. When I turned 18, this would have been a fun senior day
Yeah.
for me, being able to go to see.
We do get a lot of 18 to 21 because there's not a lot you can do in Vegas, until you're 21. So yeah,
Is it I don't want to use the term maybe annoying, but I'm sure you get a lot of men that see your show, maybe women too, that want to take you out. Am I wrong in assuming that?
Kind of rare.
Really?
People come and they see it, and it's such
Yeah.
a production show.
Right, right, right.
350 person theater. They're sitting there. It feels
Sure.
a little bit like we're not stars, but performers.
Yeah,
So there's
you're
some
entertainers,
distance
sure,
there.
sure.
We're lucky enough to get to meet and greet our fans after the show.
That's cool.
But it's pretty rare that people shoot their shot.
I get a few in my Instagram messages, but
Right. Right. Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. And how many nights a week are you guys doing this show?
the show runs 7 nights a week. Ashton and I are both contracted to do 6 nights a week.
That's a lot.
Show
You only
never
have one
stops.
day off a week?
Yeah. And we're
we're
on the
lucky.
management side now too. So
Holy
there's
smokes.
always, emails and different things to do, and people get sick, and
Yeah.
You ever have an off night where you're a little off dancing on stage?
Yes.
You're like, today wasn't really a good night, just like any musician or anybody else.
Every
Absolutely.
night is different.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is tough for me because you eat. I host and then you eat a whole dinner and then
Right.
you come to the show and you're like, oh,
That's every day for me. I go to 7-Eleven every day. That's every day for me. Yeah, but that's why I'm not a professional dancer. That's true. So talk to me a little bit about the Luxor though, because you guys have been there for a long time, right?
We have.
The show has been there. In October, we're actually celebrating our 24th year
Wow.
at the Luxor in the Atrium Theater. We're so blessed to be able to continue. We're doing our countdown to the 25th anniversary, so we're having a lot of new changes, a lot of new ideas. We're building a new LED wall that's actually going in a couple weeks,
wow.
which is really
That's
really
awesome.
exciting. So next week we're actually programming it, and so it's really nice. And the Luxor and we're such a team with MGM corporate and everybody that we
Sure.
I mean, we just absolutely love being
Did
there.
that MGM glitch have anything to do with your shows? Did that affect you guys at all?
It
That's a crazy
It's-
situation.
has
been
been.
difficult.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It
How
is
the-
crazy.
That could happen anywhere, but
Absolutely.
it happened at almost. It affected every MGM property, right? I don't know
Yes.
a lot about it.
Yes.
So did that affect your show at all in any way?
It did. Our websites are down, so people can't get tickets. So we have to, funnel people through Ticketmaster
Wow.
In Vegas.
and Vegas.
Have they fixed it yet?
Yeah.
Or
They're working on
Currently
it. Yeah.
God,
As of
that's-
today, that looks like their websites are still down.
that is so
And,
bizarre. You
yeah.
still have a show tonight.
We do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every single night, we, if
Yeah.
we,
Rain, shine,
Yeah.
whatever. We're there.
we've had a flood at the Luxor, and all of our costumes ended up getting wet. And
It was a
you know,
flood backstage.
It was something with the plumbing. I think someone in
Oh my
the,
God.
On stage.
the 30th floor had left their bathtub on, and it had just drained. It came down, and long story short, it was raining in our
God.
theater. It was our job to.
We
I
still
ran
did the
down
show.
there, dried all the costumes, got everything out. They had all of the equipment and everything dried up by showtime, and we didn't miss a
That's
beat. The audience
wild,
had no
man.
idea. We was just.
And you're in the same showroom where Carrot Top performed,
We
correct?
are.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice showroom.
Oh yes,
Thank
and
you.
we,
It's
yeah.
really beautiful.
And he's
yeah.
lovely.
He's awesome.
He's so.
Yeah, he's jacked too.
Yeah.
That guy's huge, man. The guy works out. I think he's a super nice guy. By
He
the
is
way,
the
I've met him a
kindest
bunch.
person.
Really
Yeah.
super
we
nice
share a
guy.
backstage area, so
Yeah.
we see him often.
Not to be a like a Debbie Downer, but I was talking to you, Mariah, about this off the air, and it really touched me. I remember you guys had a performer, Miss Narvaez, who was sadly brutally murdered at the time by her ex-boyfriend. Horrible story, right? But
Absolutely.
I just thought it was so incredible how the people of your show, everybody around your show, came together and helped the family get through it. Carrot Top was a big part of it, raising money for charity for the family. I just wanted to mention that because I just thought it was so cool the way everybody like came together.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible situation.
And you knew
It was
her.
just-
You worked with her, right?
Yeah, she was.
What was she like working with her?
She was great. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was really kind. I actually knew her boyfriend too. You know,
Jason,
the
yeah.
the community, the dance community in Las Vegas is so small. We're so supportive
Mm-hmm.
of everybody. So for that situation to happen, it was so shocking and so devastating for all of us. But I mean, that's the great thing about. I mean, like any tragedy, you know, October 1st, all the
Sure.
things like I feel like entertainers, it's our job to kind of be, you know, the cheerleaders for the town and everybody. We always come together and it's like, what can we do? Like, let's, you know, put on charity events. Let's smile. Let's give people a reason to.
It is
to
really
feel
a
good again.
close-knit, like I say, Vegas is big, but when it comes to the community, it's very small.
It is.
Everybody seems to know each other in the entertainment business, and
Yeah.
and everybody seems to, for the most part,
Yeah.
get along
and
pretty
I feel
well.
like everyone is
yeah.
so kind in different shows. It's like, you know, you would think that we're rival show, you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's another topless show. Don't talk to them. But like, we're all friends.
No,
and
Jennifer
it's just-
Romas is super cool.
Absolutely.
She's,
Yeah,
I've
we-
had her in plenty of times, and you're right. People are very nice. They seem to support each other at
Yeah,
little
we
red
do,
carpet
yeah.
events that are
Yeah,
around town. And
There's enough work to go
Yeah.
around to where we're not pitted against
Yeah.
each other. Everyone is working and healthy and happy.
And it is interesting, isn't it, that, you know, in Vegas, this is a typical show, right? You have some of these awesome shows like the show Fantasy, but most people around the country would never get an opportunity to see a show like this unless they came to Vegas. Do you think that's ever going to change? Or do you think this is always going to be, for the most part, a Vegas thing, and these other topless shows are going to be few and far between across the country?
I mean, I think the specific, like coming to Vegas for topless shows, like, I don't know, you know, I'm sure there's, you know, a few
Yeah.
other around in town, but they might wear pasties, but it's just such the classic Las Vegas showgirl. I mean, I hope it absolutely never dies. Just the feathers and the just the glitz and glam of
Yeah.
it. Like, I just remember seeing all of the movies like Casino when I was little, and just
Great
like
movie,
the
yep.
showgirls, and it was just like, oh my God, I want to be one of them. They're so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Special that
just-
it's here. Of
yeah.
course, there's topless shows in Paris as well.
Right.
Paris and Vegas.
Amsterdam, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do it, especially our show, we bring a fresh, new perspective to it.
Sure.
And we're very approachable. We get a ton of
That's cool.
people from the Midwest, from out east that would think that I would never actually like this show. And then they come and talk to us and they're like, it
We
was
get-
so shocking and surprising how much we loved it. We just loved
What
it.
would you say to, I hate to bring religion into this, but I'm going to do it right here. There are some people that are ultra religious that would never maybe go see a show like this if there's any form of nudity at all. Now, obviously,
Sure.
I'm not one of those people, but
Sure.
but like, what would you say to those people? And listen, I understand everybody has the right. If you don't want to see a show or do something, you do what you want to do. But there are certain people out there that maybe don't understand the fun they would have going to your show, and because they claim, oh, my religion doesn't allow me to do blah 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 blah, what would you say to them?
Well, Vegas has so many options. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
on the same level of our Luxor, you have Blue Man Group, Carrot Top, and us. So just pick a
I
different
love
show.
Blue Man Group, by the way. Those guys are awesome too.
They're great. As
Yeah,
well.
that is a phenomenal show. Because of what both of you do for a living and because you're entertainers, have you ever met maybe a very famous celebrity backstage, or somebody that saw your show, or you met somebody because of what you do that you never thought you would be able to meet before? Did you ever have a moment like that in your career, and who was it?
A lot.
Yeah, well, Sting came to our show.
No way!
I was
How cool is
I
that?
mean, and
That guy's a legend.
And we actually have one of his.
Quite
We have
handsome.
Roxanne by the Police in our show.
Wow. So
And
so how does this work? He hits up the PR people and
Yes.
and he says, "Hey, it's not him, but it's somebody calling
Yeah.
up saying, "Hey, Sting's going to show up.
Yeah.
He'd love to meet you guys after the show." Like, how does that work?
I actually believe that contact, because it was my day off and I got a message from Carrot Top. I think he had just seen Carrot Top, or he was like in our theater, and he was just like, you know, I really want to see that show. And so then Carrot Top reached out to me and said, you know, is it possible for tickets for Sting? And I was just like, oh, you're like, absolutely, whatever we need to do, we need to get him in. So yeah, it was.
What does he
it was
say to you
special.
after the show? Just pleasantries. Hey, I enjoyed
So
the
he
show.
didn't
Or
stay, because we do
Yeah.
such a public meet and greet.
Yeah.
Sometimes a celebrity will sneak out right before,
Yeah.
so they
Just
don't get
to-
inundated
yeah.
by people. I missed Usher.
Usher
saw your show,
Yeah,
wow.
he was amazing, and he came backstage, and we got to take pictures with him. And he was about to open his Las Vegas residency, so he had lots of questions on, you know, what our schedule was, and he was just the kindest, nicest person. So,
wow, how
yeah.
cool is that? Dancer, entertainer, male or female, dead or alive, that you would, a dream of yours to be able to be on stage with and perform with, who would it be?
Ooh, Elvis for me.
Elvis, that's a good one.
That would have been just so classic. Our producer actually was on stage and she lived that life. She choreographed for Elvis.
No way. Wow.
Just so classic Las Vegas.
How cool is that?
I would have loved to be a part of that era.
Janet Jackson. Come on.
She's incredible. That was one of
That was
my,
my first concert.
I'm trying to remember the album, and I'm embarrassed that I don't even remember the album, but it was one of the first shows I'd ever seen, and the dancing and the choreography, the fact that she's not lip syncing and
Right.
she's actually singing with a live band and doing all this choreography at the same time, which almost no performers are capable of doing that are singers today.
tough.
I just thought it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
How great she was as a performer, and probably still is. I don't know, how old is she now? She's up there a little bit, right? But
She just,
50s, right?
she just had a baby at 50,
Yeah.
like a couple
She
years
still
ago.
looks pretty darn good.
That's
She looks
amazing.
great.
yeah, pretty
Keep it
darn
going.
good.
I'd like to stay on stage till I'm 50. So let's just
Any
keep
other
it going.
shows that there are people that you'd always want to dance with? Like, because there's so many different shows out there. I know you're with Fantasy, but other shows that you watch, and say, hey, that'd be pretty cool to be up there with them.
I mean,
That's a stumper.
yeah. I mean,
There's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
there is a lot of shows. I mean, I would love to do like either one-off shows or different performances. If a big celebrity were to come into town for a one-time show and then do like a Fantasy would perform with, gosh, I don't know, Pink would be amazing.
Oh, sure.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, do some kind of aerial something.
So what
There's-
would happen? I'm curious if this has ever happened before, because a lot of people that come to Vegas do have a lot of money. They might not leave with a lot of money, but they have a lot of money. If somebody approached you guys and said, hey, I want a private show of Fantasy at my mansion, I don't know. Has that ever happened before? And is there a price for that?
We have got offers. We haven't actually done it. It's really like some people will come out and be like, I own a casino out in Hawaii. You guys should come out. Or
We're like,
Guam.
yes, please.
Yeah, come.
Talk to our
And-
producer and
yeah.
book us, but it hasn't actually worked out because the show runs 7 days a week here. We're already on sale for next year. We've already
Yeah.
had ticket
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah.
So to take a break and do something out of state or somewhere else is difficult. We have done abbreviated shows way back at like conventions, so CES. We did a little show preview before, but that's during the day, so it doesn't conflict with our.
No, I
ongoing
understand
schedule.
that. 7 days a week is incredible, because I'm not sure there are any other shows out there that are doing it 7 days a week. Not
100%
many.
Sure. I know there was a few before the pandemic, but I think when the pandemic hit and shows came back, I don't know how many are
Shows
actually
usually
seven-
dark 1 or 2 days a week.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then
that's-
if they're not, they have dark weeks.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we're 7 days a week, 365.
That's wild,
Yeah,
man.
we're actually doing double shows the whole week of Christmas,
Oh,
Christmas
wow.
Eve. Yeah, we.
So
we-
are you
we're
wearing
rocking and
Christmas
rolling.
outfits when you get
We
up on
do
stage?
have Christmas outfits. We have little outfits.
I'm gonna have to see that show.
Yeah.
I have to see.
Shows are
fun.
fun.
I'm gonna have to see that show for sure. That is so cool. But I ask you that because, and this goes to my next question, is that there are so many Vegas shows that struggle. There are so many shows that struggle to stay here and make money. The fact that you guys have been in business making money for 24 years goes to show, first of all, how much people enjoy the show. That's number one. The product has to be good, right?
Absolutely.
And then the price has to be affordable. And I also believe what's just as important is the show has to not only be friendly to the tourist, but you also have to get the locals involved as well,
Absolutely.
right? How are you able to do that?
I think it's a testament to our producer, Anita Mann. She is just fabulous. She's on the cutting edge of, any kind of new marketing thing. She's willing to try everything. And the show is constantly evolving. I think this last summer we put in 8 new numbers. So if we've had people come see the show over 100 times. And I don't think in those 100 times they've ever seen the exact same show. We always rotate
Yeah.
cast. We have new numbers.
Yes.
We've got, new costumes.
And
Yeah.
our fans are
Yes.
fabulous.
Yeah.
They support us and they love us and they
I think
bring
that's
their
awesome.
friends and they bring their friends and they tell
awesome.
wherever they're
Yeah.
from that that's where you go when you go
Yeah.
to Vegas. You go to Fantasy. We get lots of repeat customers. We get lots of people who
I love
say,
that.
so and so.
The opposite of my sex life. No repeat customers. Anyway, that's another story for another
Work
show.
on it.
Numchuck, is this the part of the show where I get to ask inappropriate questions? Is no? Could I ask one? I'll ask one. Okay, this isn't really inappropriate. Okay, this is a controversy. Since you guys do a topless show, let's ask a topless question. Why is it that men are allowed to take their shirts off in public, but women are not unless they're breastfeeding? For the life of me, I never really understood that. Can you help me understand?
I agree.
That?
That's a great question.
That's not an inappropriate
It's
question.
not.
Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that.
Why though? I don't know. Why are people so uptight? I guess that's my real question. Why are people so uptight? Listen, I get it. Some people don't want to see other people with their clothes up. Okay, then don't look at them.
Yeah.
Keep walking. I've seen people without their clothes on, and I kept walking. Okay, I don't want to see that. Keep walking.
Sure.
And then I see people with their clothes on. Oh, that's awesome. Or maybe I'll say something else that I can't say on the radio.
And you
But
would think that the people who don't want to see people naked wouldn't also want to see men shirtless, but that doesn't seem to be a problem.
no,
But anyway,
I don't understand that in our society. I never really did. Why are
It
people
is.
so
It's,
uptight?
it's just skin. It's just bodies. We all have them. You know.
Yeah.
It's,
All different shapes
yes.
and sizes.
absolutely.
If you don't mind me asking, do you both have a family? Do you have kids or
We
Not-
have families
yeah,
but no
yeah,
kids.
yes.
Okay.
Fur babies.
families that know
Lots of
kids?
dogs. We
That
love
is-
yes.
That is super cool. And you guys have lived in Vegas, obviously, since you started working on this show, right?
Yeah.
Mariah, you're from Colorado.
I am.
Okay. And Ashton, you're from, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It's
Oh
cold.
yeah, sure you betcha.
Freezing there, man.
Not all the time. For like 2 months, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
That's
But-
cool. I've never been to Minnesota before.
Well,
I'll
put
be
it on
honest.
your
I
list.
haven't
Put it
either.
on your
I've never
list.
been to go.
I don't think we're
Culturally,
going to be
it's-
seeing one of these shows in Minnesota anytime soon, are we?
No, but it is pretty cool. Like the city
Liberal?
have,
Pretty
well,
liberal?
Prince is from there. Yeah.
Oh, I love Prince. I
Yeah,
remember when.
absolutely.
Do you remember? You guys both remember when he ran that nightclub at the Rio for a short period of time?
I was actually in the show right before it, so he came in and was like, "Oh my God, Prince is here!" You know, he's watched
you
a little
talk
bit,
to him?
a little bit of our show, and then he closed it down. He was like, "I want this whole theater," so our show closed. So I was like, "Oh."
Why did he
Yeah.
close it down?
He wanted the whole theater for himself, which makes sense. You know, we were
He's Prince.
Yeah, and he had. I think he was still in
Crown nightclub,
that-
right? Is that what it was called? Crown or
before it was Club Rio.
Club Rio,
Yeah,
Crown
Club Rio was
nightclub?
there, yeah, so
Did you ever talk to him?
a little. No, not really. So I was also a go-go dancer at the club too. So there was one time when he was there, and I was just coming out to go do my next set, and I opened the door, and it's like backstage, like super small hallways, and he was just standing there. Literally, it felt like Jesus, and like it was just like this beacon of light. And I was just like, and I wasn't a huge I didn't think he was attractive, but when I saw him in person, I was like, this is the most beautiful human I've ever just touched by angels. Like he was just, and you just know the
Magnetic, right?
talent, and just like I was like, and I completely froze, and he was like, "Can I help you?" I was like,
Is that what he said?
"Yeah," and I was like, I completely froze. Which is rare for me to do. Like I was.
Yeah, I don't get a very like celebrity
Starstruck.
starstruck,
It's
but
Prince, man.
Prince.
he-
I met
never
him
had-
at, and I'm sure you remember this, NBA All-Star Weekend. That was a very crazy weekend,
that was
right?
a crazy
So
weekend.
Prince was in town for that. He and his girlfriend were sitting front row. I just shook his hand and I said, just thank you for all what you do. Because first album I ever bought was Prince and the New Power Generation when I was like 10 years old. And I told him that, and he kind of chuckled. And he's like, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And then he just kept walking. I'm like, wow, Prince just said thank you to me.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in Vegas, you rub shoulders with some incredible people. I remember
Absolutely.
it was Muhammad Ali's 70th birthday. I've been doing radio for 20 years, and they had a big charity event at MGM. They do great charity events
really
there,
do.
by the way.
They do.
And it's the Lou Ruvo event. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's at MGM Grand every year. And so I'm doing the red carpet,
Yep.
and every A-lister was there for Muhammad Ali. And I got in there, and I was able to sit down and at one of the tables. And the guy, to my right is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Huh.
To my left is Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh wow.
And I got Anthony Hopkins. So Brian, tell me a little bit about Las Vegas. It's my Anthony Hopkins impersonation.
Nice.
Not very good.
Nailed it.
And I'm just like, I don't belong here, you know. But when you're in Vegas, you get to mingle
Yeah.
with people that you never thought you'd ever be able to meet in your life. And I'm sure
Absolutely.
you guys just talked
Yeah.
about that, hanging out with Sting. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty damn cool. And meeting Prince at the Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad what happened to him, but
Yeah.
that was so cool that for a short period of time he called Vegas his home.
Yeah,
And I
very
saw one of those shows, and it was mesmerizing. I couldn't believe everyone talks about his music and his singing, but I don't even think some people realize what a great guitar player. One of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Yeah. All
right?
of the instruments. He's on the piano,
The
and
guy's
he's over here, and it's just like,
unbelievable,
he
right?
is- Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the best shows you've seen in this town over the years?
Random.
Besides Fantasy.
Of course, obviously, there's so many. And
Right.
Prince was one of them. Actually, my sister was in town, and I saw Celine Dion the same day, which was a fabulous show.
Yeah.
And then I went over to work, and then I happened to be backstage and watched Prince show, and I was just like, it's the different
Nice.
music and thing, but I was just like, oh, what a special day! Like I can see Celine Dion, and then I can see Prince perform in the same day, and those two shows were fabulous.
I hate that I never saw Cher
Mm.
because her show quality, the costumes, the Bob Mackie costumes, the showgirls, like I should have been there.
She was fabulous as well.
Of course, the Vegas trap is you just working so much. Everyone is
Yeah,
here.
you guys never really have time off.
It's
6 days a week.
Do you ever get burnt out?
Sure.
You're driving to work, you're going to the Luxor, and you say, I'm not sure. I feel you're a professional. You still do the show,
Of
but
course.
you ever feel like, oh man, I don't really feel like doing the show tonight.
Yes, everyone feels like that, but what's different about about our work is the audience is different every night. So as soon as the curtain opens and we can see everyone in that theater and they're so excited. It's their first time seeing us. It might be my 1,000th show, but it's their first time. So like you have a responsibility to just fake it and bring it and figure it out.
Why is it? I don't know. Am I just weird? Let's just say I was doing, and again, nobody wants to see this. There are no male bottomless shows out there, right, as far as I know.
No.
I
That's
think
not true.
there's puppetry of the penis.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I don't think I've ever seen that show. I don't know if I would enjoy that.
It's a specific niche.
All right, let's just say for hypothetically, nobody would want to see me do that show. But if I was, I wouldn't want my mother to be there. You know
Fair.
what I mean? Like I'm still trying to grasp that. And I think that, by the way, I think it's so cool that your family was there and your dad was. I think that's awesome.
Sure.
But I would not want my family member to
I
be
think
there.
add that we've been in dance lessons. I've been in dance lessons
Right.
since I was 2, which means my family went to every recital, every dance competition, which means they probably, I didn't know, but worried about what I was going to do with my future. How was I going to support myself in the arts, and then seeing this dream for years and years and years and years. For them, it's seeing my dream come to fruition. And, I think it's just.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
No, I think it's.
But I think that would be it. If you had
Yeah.
trained your whole life, even if they didn't
if I
really
trained my
get
whole
it.
life to do puppetry of the
Yeah,
penis.
yeah.
Well, some people could argue I have been doing that, but anyway, that's another story again for another show. Again, if you're just joining us, Mariah and Ashton are joining us in the studio. They're so nice enough to be here. The show is called Fantasy. It's been going on for 24 years. It's been a little while since I saw the show. I'm definitely going to go back and see it again, but it's at the Luxor. Prices are fairly affordable. I don't know if you can give us information on what the pricing is, or if there's any deals for locals that you can share with us as far as how the pricing goes.
We definitely do local deals. I'm not sure exactly the time frame, but I know we
Yeah.
do summer local deals, which is buy one get one free
Yeah.
for tickets for locals.
Yeah.
You just have to show your Luxor ID or your driver's
Local
license
ID, yeah.
at the local ID at the Luxor box office for
Okay.
those tickets, and then our tickets start at $39.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's a good
we
deal.
really want to be
worth it.
affordable. We're
Spend more money at McDonald's these days.
yeah.
I spent $40 at McDonald's the other day. I'm like, what happened?
Oh wow. Yeah.
What happened, man? You know who was a big fan of your show, and he's a friend of mine, and he's sorely missed? Robin Leach.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
I loved Robin. He was a legendary journalist.
Absolutely.
And he supported so many of the shows like yours, and I love that about him. And there were a few times where I talked to him, he's like, yeah, I was on the show Fantasy the other day, and I can't do his accent. But the great Robin Leach, he's sorely missed. Wasn't he great?
He is. He
loved your
was
show.
fabulous. We would give him the exclusive on our calendar. So every year we shoot a calendar, and so then he would come out and get to see the pictures and just very, very, very supportive, very kind. And
He
we
really was.
really missed.
It's nice to get support like that.
Absolutely.
I want to see Oscar Goodman down there. I got to tell Oscar to go.
We would love to have
With his
Oscar.
two martinis in his hands.
Yes,
Did you-
absolutely.
any politicians seen your show that you could recall?
Not
None.
a
Bill Clinton didn't roll in there? No?
No.
No Donald Trump? No Donald
No.
Trump strolling in?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Let me ask you this. How would you deal with that? I think I know the answer you're going to give me. But if somebody walked in there that say you don't like, right? And I won't even put a name on it, but if there was a politician that, I hate that person, I'm not saying you would say that. I would, because I'm a hateful person. But anyway, but no, in all seriousness, if you saw that person front row, would you let it affect you at all? And how would you deal with that? Somebody that you just, in the public eye, that you just hate, you don't like.
We haven't really had that situation come up, but I feel like I feed off people's energy. So even if I hated them, if they were in the front row having a good time, smiling,
That's all that
I would
matters.
be performing as a normal.
I like that.
I
I like that.
If they were hating the show or talking, not
Then
kind
you'd
of
have a
things, because we
problem.
can hear you, and
Yeah.
if
And we
you're in the
can
front
see
row,
you.
it would be tough.
So do
but
you
we're
hear-
professionals.
Do
You
hear-
smile.
You
Show
hear
must go
people in
on.
the crowd making comments about your body, positive
Yes.
comments, but comments.
They do, but afterwards at meet and greet, they'll come up and sometimes say things. So you're like, wow, I can't believe you actually said that. It's like, oh, I like her this and you're that, and if you
So-
put her this on,
Yeah.
or you can,
So you'll have somebody.
strange.
So you'll have somebody in the crowd or somebody after the show commenting on a specific body part.
They do.
We
yeah,
have
I think
before,
they
yeah.
feel like
That is a little
Yeah.
strange.
we're so warm and we're so excited to meet everybody. They feel like they know us. They do, and if
Yeah.
you come to the show a lot, they do feel like they're our
Do you
friends.
feel like Do you feel like that's a little disrespectful? Like,
It depends on.
I get it. This
yeah,
is what
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I get it. But there's a lot of other stuff you're doing in the show too. It's not just showing
I would
off
say
how beautiful you are.
99% of the comments are positive and
Absolutely.
they're people are and it's intimidating to come
They
up
get
to us
nervous.
and it's
They just
So
say
you have to be
something.
professional, and I get that. But in everyday life, you know how some men are. Some men are pigs, and
absolutely.
if
Can
a
be.
regular man, an idiot, I would never talk like that to a woman. But if a regular everyday person goes up to you and says, "Boy, you got great boobs," or whatever, or maybe even more rudely than I just said it,
Yeah.
you would probably want to smack them in the face, right? But after a show,
We know that there's a lot of factors into it. And
Yeah.
number one, I think Mariah hit on was it's just they're nervous.
yeah.
They're nervous. They've just seen us on stage and then we're there.
And that's the first thing they say. You
There's-
can't say,
ah.
"Wow, you ladies are so talented and so beautiful." They have to go
Most
to
of
your
them
body.
say that.
Yeah.
But I think it is just a way to connect. And it's a
It's
little
an interesting way to
awkward.
connect. I mean, maybe if you were in a strip club, I guess, but a little strange. But you have
It's
to
a
be
little
professional, and at least it's a positive thing,
I mean,
right?
we definitely have security there. So if someone's
good.
really out of hand or you just like, I'm uncomfortable answering.
You ever get that
answering this
situation
question.
ever in 15 years?
We definitely
Rare.
have. Yeah.
Rare.
It's
Can you
rare.
give me a rare, like, when does security have to get involved? When they get like touchy with you, or
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
definitely had people because we take pictures. So usually it's
Yeah.
low, put your hand
Yeah.
on the lower back. But we've definitely had men try to grab our tushies, and that
Yeah,
it's just
you can't do that.
it's
well, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
cool. But I would imagine the overwhelming
yeah,
majority don't.
security's
do that.
right there.
Yeah.
There's they'll
And I'm
they'll
sure
usher them
alcohol
out.
could be a part of it too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Not that it excuses that got to be. On a positive side, I would imagine that couples go see your show, and maybe it's a couple that's been in a marriage for a little while and things are not going very well, or maybe they got into an argument, and then all of a sudden, I would imagine they see your show, and things get fun again, and then they're all of a sudden touchy-feely with each other, and maybe the reason why they're connecting later on in the night is because of your show. I would imagine that you've heard those
that's
stories.
absolutely the goal. Like we don't want to make
Yeah.
anybody in a relationship feel uncomfortable. We that's kind of the foreplay. Like go
In a
and
way,
do
it's
your
therapy
thing. Like,
what
just
you do for some
yeah,
couples. right?
enjoy.
That's awesome.
We have had women that just are so uncomfortable, or you can obviously tell that the couple's fighting, and
Or men
sometimes
that are
they,
just
leave.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
What man would be uncomfortable going to your show? Well, I guess there's a few out
it's,
there. I don't know.
everyone's different, but for the most
Yeah.
part, we
Yeah.
have a really positive experience and it like sets off the rest of your trip.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give you a quick story, and I want to get your opinions on this. Speaking of uncomfortable, I had a lady friend 10 years ago out of town. She wanted to go see kind of a male review show, and then maybe we could see one of your shows or something, right? Okay, no problem. I didn't know what this show was. All due respect to the people that I don't even know if there's the show's called Naked Boys Singing. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. It is full on male nudity. We were 4 feet from the stage. I don't think she was turned on. I certainly was not. All due respect to what they do. I didn't have a very good time. I wasn't enjoying myself. So I just told her, all right, we're going to Sapphire now, whether you like it or not. She obliged, and everything was all good. But I guess I made the mistake of not knowing what the show was. I've taken ladies to Chippendales. Pleasantly, I had a good time. It was fun. It was fun. I'm not like homophobic or whatever you call it. I don't care. But the Naked Boys Singing was a little bit over the line for me. I didn't enjoy it. So what do you think I did wrong? Maybe I didn't research the show, or
Go to their
yeah.
socials and
Right.
check it out.
Yeah.
Our socials are great too. We're at Fantasy Luxor, so you can see.
You know
your
what you're going to
teaser.
get with your show.
Yeah.
You're going to get great dancing. It's going to be a lot of fun. You have a comedian in your show too, correct?
We do. We're in the middle of transitioning into like a new phase. So we're adding brand new numbers, different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the evolution phase of adding new things to our
If you
shows.
need to add a bald Jew radio host to your show, let me know.
I'll tell our
Do you
producer
want to work
you're-
7 days a week?
Yeah,
365?
Absolutely not. I mean, if I got to see you guys 7 days a week, it'd probably make things a lot easier. I have to look at Numchuck every day, and he has to look at me. So it's
That
exactly.
is what makes it your coworkers. Like our dressing room is so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. We do birthday parties and we
How
bring
often- how-
treats and
That's cool. How long do you get there before the show, by the way?
call times at like
1
just
hour
an hour
before.
before.
You got to do makeup.
Yep.
You got to get your hair done.
Gotta talk to
I don't
each
have to
other,
worry
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're always because the show is different. We have different girls in different tracks. So like if Ashton's off, then it's like okay, well I'm going to be Ashton tonight in the opening number. So then you kind of mentally go through the blocking and
You guys sing too?
We do. We
yeah.
sing in the show.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. What's your favorite song? Like, what's your karaoke go-to song?
Karaoke's tough in this town because everyone's a
Fabulous.
headliner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is true.
I actually have not sung karaoke in this town for that. Like, and then you go to like, what's that, Ellis Island? And
I
then
love
the,
Ellis
the
Island.
wait list for the songs are like, okay, you'll be on in 3 hours. And it's like, I just wanted to get up and sing a silly little song. And
I love Ellis Island.
Yeah,
that
it's
place.
fun.
That place is the
Yeah.
best. Do you have any other favorite spots in Vegas that you enjoy going to?
oh, so many.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
question.
You love to go to Jing.
Naked
Yeah,
Naked
I
Boys
do.
singing.
Yeah,
Naked Boys
I'm
singing.
around downtown Summerlin, so I love.
That's a
I love
beautiful area. You ever go
to
to the baseball games over there? Aviator games?
Rare,
Yeah.
rarely.
Well, you don't have any days off. I just remembered that. You don't have a lot of time. No, but downtown Summerlin's beautiful, isn't it? It really is. Red Rock is beautiful, and it's pretty cool. How about yourself? Any
I
spots in town?
Love like Town Square. It's just easy. All the shopping, and then Blue Martini and
Blue Martini.
Brie-
I used to
Brie-
hang out there a lot.
yeah.
I used to hang out there a lot at Blue Martini.
Yeah.
And I know if we can get kind of out of town, like Mount Charleston or Sedona, like quick places
Mount
that we
Charleston's
can
great.
do. 20,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great.
On
I've
on the
seen it-
one day off you might have to
Yeah.
go to Mount
or you
Charleston.
can
Yeah.
just do it on a day that you have a show if you get up early enough.
Yeah.
That is very true. You do
That's what
have
we try to
you work
do.
at night, but you have
Yes.
good portions of the day.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever asked you this. Any relationship you've ever been in where your partner maybe got a little bit jealous of what you do?
No.
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 You know why I would ask that though. 'cause
Yeah.
some
I
people-
wouldn't.
date
I wouldn't
someone.
stand for it either.
Yeah.
It's,
You know why I asked that though. There are guys
Sure.
out there that are really jealous
Yeah.
and I don't want to see you doing
I
that.
mean,
I
I
don't
could
want-
see if you were in a long relationship and you weren't a dancer, and then all of a sudden you were like, okay, I'm going to go on stage in fantasy and be topless. That's kind of changing the rules. But for me, I moved out to Vegas to be a Las Vegas showgirl, so that's built into my DNA. So I mean, and now
Yeah.
anybody I've met, it's like this is what I do. If you're uncomfortable,
Then
You're-
don't
we're-
need to-
Not gonna work for you.
we are.
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah, I don't understand that. I guess my feeling is if I'm dating somebody or I'm with somebody and other people are watching them show off whatever they're doing, how beautiful they are, I think that makes me feel better, not worse.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
wow.
would, I would be proud. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be with somebody that's, beautiful and sexy and
Of
smart,
course.
or all of the things.
Well, I have
So
no
it's just-
chance, obviously, but anyway. No, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. So I know there's the show over at Stratosphere. I forgot what it's called, where it involves men and women. That's the
Rouge,
top.
yeah.
Rouge, good show.
Yes.
Do you think there's going to be more shows like that where it includes more men and women together, like maybe Chippendales and people like you?
I think Chippendales will maintain their branding, but
Yeah.
yes, I think the new Dita Von Teese show is going to have men and women.
It does have men? Nice.
Yeah.
That is super
Yeah.
cool. If you had to name one guy that you'd want to see do a show for you, like a Chippendale type show. I'm not going to get nasty with the question, but you know what I'm saying. Like if you wanted to see one guy that you've always wanted to see, I don't know, with his shirt off, dancing around a stage, performing for you. I'm just curious, man or woman, I guess. We could start with them. Who would that be?
For me, it'd be Tyson Beckford. I met him when he was
beautiful.
headlining at Chippendales, and he did like a small run. I actually got to interview him.
He was in the Janet Jackson music
Oh,
video years back. Yeah.
He is so beautiful.
Good-looking dude.
Oh
Good
my
looking
god.
dude.
Oh my god.
That's a perfect dancer because you
And
can
he's a
think
great
of-
dancer. yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starstruck by him as well.
I can think of lots of attractive men, but not like if they can't dance,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they're not going to be super attractive to me if I'm watching them. In
So
the
they
show.
have to be able to dance. for you.
If they're going to give me a
If they're
striptease
going to
or
give me a
something.
show,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Huge.
Interesting. Tyson
Huge
Beckford's a
bonus
good
fan.
one.
Ooh,
He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, how about a lady that you'd want to see perform?
Maybe Carmen Electra.
Oh, she's been around a while.
Yeah, she is. Or Pamela Anderson. I know, like, well, in their heyday. Yeah, just.
We'll ask Dennis Rodman about that.
Yeah.
But those are two very big
Yeah.
names. I love.
I mean, I
Carmen
guess Megan
Electra.
Fox.
She's
Yeah.
Megan
beautiful.
Fox.
I think Miley Cyrus is so hot, but she just put a microphone in
Yeah.
her hand.
You guys don't have a lot of time to see a lot of shows in town, right?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It's-
You're-
I
We
ki-
could do better.
Yeah.
We
I
could
kind of
do
balance
better.
my with just having one day off. I'm in a relaxing mode right now. So usually if my day off, I'm with a glass of my wine in my pajamas at like 4 p.m.
don't
Like,
tell me
I'm
both
just-
of you have the day off today and you're stuck here for 45 minutes.
No, we're both working.
What time is the show tonight?
10:30
So when are the days you do two shows?
Sundays.
So just Sunday. What are the times of those shows?
8 o'clock and 10:30.
Okay, so 8 o'clock and 10:30, and then every other night during the week, and even Friday, Saturday night, it's at 7?
10,
Or I'm sorry,
10:30.
I'm sorry, 10:30.
Late night.
10:30.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that right. All right, we only have 2 minutes left here. I want you to give out the information, Mariah and Ashton, how people can get tickets, how people can get involved and see the show if they've never seen the show before. How do they go about doing that?
You can go to our website, www.fantasyluxor.com. It can give you tickets. We have our calendar sales, calendars for sale. We're getting new merchandise that will have everything up there. That's the easiest place. You can also follow us on social media.
At Fantasy Luxor. Our Instagram has links to all of our tickets, to our merch, and we're also in the running for Best of Las Vegas, so you can vote for us there.
Oh, that's awesome. I will definitely have to do that. I haven't seen the show in a long time. I'm going to have to
You
come
have
back.
to come back. Just
would-
let us pick,
I would
pick
love
a night.
to. I would love to. That would be the. I think I don't want to wait till Christmas, but I might. I just want to see you guys in the Christmas
Yeah.
outfits.
So
Yeah, the
starting
Christmas outfits.
December 17th through December 25th, we're doing double shows all week. So
And they also have some cool exhibits at the Luxor too. I mean, I
do.
saw the Bodies exhibit there before, the Titanic exhibit I've seen there.
Yep.
And now the new King Tut.
Tut.
That
I haven't
was
seen that
really
one.
cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Now, they have some great exhibits there, some good restaurants there. It's a fun spot.
Yep, they're opening up in potentially December, early next year. This new place called Play, and it's almost like it's supposed to be an interactive adult playground. They're going to have one
With
of
a
those
bar.
like with a bar. Yeah, they'll have the Velcro things you can jump and throw
Well, that
yourself onto a
sounds
wall.
super
and
cool.
I'm really excited for that. I think that should bring some fun energy.
Well, thank you.
to
Well,
the
you
Luxor.
both bring some fun energy to the show.
Thank you for having
I
us.
appreciate you, Mariah and Ashton, for joining us. I can't wait to see the show Fantasy again. And if anyone hasn't seen it yet, or if you already have, go check it out again. These ladies are working really hard, and it's a very, very successful show going on for 24 years. They certainly got to be doing something right. They're doing a lot right, and it's awesome. And I appreciate both of you being here and having to deal with me for 45 minutes. So thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Wow, that's a wrap. That hour's gone by really fast. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, on the show. We got Alan Bigelow coming in studio. Attorney Tim Treffinger is going to be here. So thanks for joining us, everybody.